after its first half of Season 1, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came back after its winter break, making up for much of its boring moments with truly being surprising and having major events that I don't think many had expected of it. So, no beating around the bush here, folks. Let's get started. So the second half kicked off with all of the agents looking for Agent Coulson, who, as you might remember, got abducted at the last episode before the winter break. And even Skye, a character I didn't care much for, to say the least, used all of her smarts and her hacking skills. Gee, I didn't even know she had smarts to track him down, pretending to be Agent May, which is pretty hilarious, because Agent May is so much more badass than Skye could even dream of being. Like, she's like a giant of badassitude compared to Skye. Now that they got him back, and he got this really shocking discovery about how he came back to life, when we see what Tahiti really was, you know, please let me die, please let me die, please let me die. My God, that moment was haunting. So yeah, he's really being obsessed with finding out what that was all about, and also because of the events in Captain America the Winter Soldier, where it turns out that S.H.I.E.L.D. Has been, well, one half Hydra, basically, because that organization has been growing within S.H.I.E.L.D. Yikes. You couldn't help wondering what's gonna happen to S.H.I.E.L.D. then. And turns out some really nasty, ugly things were waiting for them to happen, because of a mission where Skye gets shot in the stomach. Something I would have cheered much earlier, before I got a little more sympathies for her. They got John Garrett, played by Bill Paxton, helping them out. Speaking of Skye, it turns out that apparently at least one of her parents was with S.H.I.E.L.D. and I think that gave her a lot more motivation to work the S.H.I.E.L.D. way, or at least with S.H.I.E.L.D. with her own methods. So rather than trying to throw a wrench into their machinery, she's actually working with them now in her own special way. Much appreciated, Skye. Good on you. In this mission where Skye gets shot, I think they were in Italy, somewhere in Europe anyways, and it was pretty fun to see this same event from different points of views, even though this PA at the train repeating itself was kind of annoying, but it was really fun to see exactly how those things transpired. Oh yeah, Sif. Jamie Alexander guest stars as Lady Sif from Thor movies, and I absolutely loved that. I mean, every time she showed up, she pretty much stole the scene. At least to me she did. And yeah, she totally owned. It was kind of like seeing Xena Warrior Princess teaming up with the people at Mission Impossible or something. The really nasty stuff with Captain America the Winter Soldier, S.H.I.E.L.D. Having a Pyrrhic victory, sort of defeating Hydra, but pretty much losing its reputation as a beacon of security and protection. Big ugly monster was hiding behind the shield, so to speak. But that's not even half of it, because at the end of that particular episode, tying into Captain America 2, when they are finding out that John Garrett, a friend of Phil Coulson's, was in fact a Hydra agent, Me, I didn't expect that, even though it didn't really surprise me, but I thought he was more like a SHIELD agent who used more dirty methods to get his way, sort of like how Nick Fury keeps secrets and lies to people. But anyway, so they book John Garrett and is transporting him to one of their super prisons. And what happens then? Well, Agent Ward, Grant Ward, who I mistakenly called Grey Ward a couple of times, shoots 3 SHIELD agents. One of them is Victoria Hand, who I thought was going to be a major player for the rest of the show. And I thought there was some kind of misunderstanding here, like maybe they were Hydra agents and Garrett was just pretending for some reason. But no! Grant is Hydra. Oh my god. Turns out he was an undercover agent. A double agent? A traitor? Yikes! Damn. So the next episode, it's him and Garrett breaking into this super secret facility, breaking out the whole bunch of supervillains, stealing this major weaponry. And it was fun as hell. Grant Ward as the evil Hydra agent, working with another evil Hydra agent. It was a lot more enjoyable this way. I mean, I had an appreciation for him simply for keeping an eye on the other people. Turns out he did it so he could stab them in the back. Oh. And he really screwed Melinda May in the word's truest sense. Actually, screw is something you do with a screwdriver and a screw. But it takes a while for the team to find out about this, because he asks Jarrett to punch him out to make it look like he got into a confrontation with him. And oh damn. So the rest of the team are hiding out at this bunker with Patton Oswalt. Yay! Freaking A. And rather than acting like a secret agent, he's more like a head of security at some office complex or whatever. And that's kind of funny, seeing how all of these people have been doing this super secret stuff, and he's on about these lanyards. And then he gets off by Grant Ward, that son of a... You killed Patton Oswalt, you bastard! Yeah, he was a fun villain, but you don't go and kill one of the funniest stand-up comedians like that. So, when it turns out that Grant Ward... Why do I keep saying his full name? When Ward turns out to be a traitor to the whole team, this pisses Fitz off, because after pretty much being a pain in his neck for some time, he warmed up to him and they were more like friends than before. And when Simmons declares that Eric Koenig, Oswald's character, was killed by Ward, oh damn, Fitz just flips the hell out. He just goes Scottish on the whole lab. Sorry, Scottish people. Now they have no jets. They barely have any shield left. They have to hide out in a motel room with a whiteboard, figuring out their next steps. And they even have a Deathlock working against them. But at least SHIELD got Trip, who was Garrett's sidekick for a while, but he was also an idealist. His grandpa was in the Howling Commandos, so when it turns out that Garrett was one of the baddies, he did not take that well. He got angry and yelled at him with background music drowning over his yelling, and maybe that was for the better. And he has all of this old school Howling Commandos early SHIELD equipment with him that they are using against them, and that's kind of nice that they are like going back to their roots to take down their biggest enemy. You know what, with all of these movies, blockbuster movies and television finales, who are really trying their hardest to like give you goosebumps and make you wet your underwear. It's actually quite okay if a final episode of a season doesn't do that, as long as it's good. And this was a pretty good finale. I mean, let's see now. Deathlock is finally able to work against the bad people he's been forced to help out, and well, Ward sort of gets his comeuppance. I mean, that was a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping that he would be maybe not redeem himself, but realize the error of his ways. I mean, they have shown in flashbacks that he got really manipulated by Garrett, that he got a lot of this BS pumped into his head, so that's why he's the way he is, because he thinks that's caring and being sympathetic or weaknesses idiotic enough. I mean, then explain how come that Thor was able to lift up his hammer, that he got his power back because he was worthy again, because he became a nice guy. And also Steve Rogers, they gave him a serum that made him this ubermensch. Bad choice of words, I know, because he was a good, kind person at heart. So yeah, don't talk about being a good person being a weakness. Screw that. I mean, he was forced to kill a dog that he had as a companion for, 5 years? That's messed up. No wonder that he sunk Fitzsimmons to the bottom of the ocean. Speaking of which, I was sort of expecting Submariner to come and save them, and it does sound like Atlantis exists in this universe. But Samuel L. Jackson came and saved their asses. Sweet. Yeah. Much better than his, 20-second cameo in the first half of season 1. What else? Oh yeah, Garrett looked like he was coming back. You know, I am unstoppable! And he gets incinerated by Coulson. And he just walks away calmly, just like he had killed a spider with a rolled up newspaper or something. Oh yeah, Patton Oswalt comes back as another Koenig. That's great. Hope he also shows up a lot more next season. I'm really happy that this show got to season 2. I really have expectations that they really improve on a lot of things during the show, even if it already has, so to speak. I wonder, it would be funny if there was a running gag that Patton Oswalt keeps dying but comes back as different Koenigs, like he comes back as a German. Hello, I am Werner Koenig. I am Eric and Billy's cousin. And then he comes back with a thin mustache. Bonjour, I am Pierre Koenig. I am Werner's lost cousin. Then with a blonde wig. Hello, I am Sven Koenig, and I am also one of their lost cousins. Yeah, that would be incredibly ridiculous, but hey, I think Patton Oswalt could pull it off. So far, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has done spectacularly. Really surprised me by being tons better than it was at its first run. Really showed how the team has grown together. Even the traitor himself, the Judas, the Mr. Ward, agent of Hydra. He may not be a member of the team next season, of course. Hopefully Trip will take his place because he's a really cool guy. But that's gonna take a long while to see how that turns out. See you next fall. And also, congrats, Director Coulson. It's gonna be real interesting to see how you explain to the Avengers how come you're not dead anymore. And I hope things work out for you with the cello player that you had to leave behind. Amy Acker. Wow. He had a relationship with a character played by Amy Acker and he had to leave her. That's sad. She's cute. Bye.